Hey, you guys, how y'all doing? It's Jayla Martinez, aka the Suburban Grower. We're here live at about 12:44 a.m. It is May the 23rd, Saturday, 2020. And what I came to tell you guys, y'all gotta excuse me. So let me just retrace real quick. So I had a couple of yards today that I had to do. If you guys didn't know, I have my own lawn care business. So if you start seeing grass and growing, going on at the same time, you gotta excuse me. I might get happy and post a little video or whatever on, how to take care of your grass. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. Tonight we are here for one reason and one reason only. I have told you guys that we need to grow together. And what I've started to see at Lowe's, I'm a very avid Lowe's person. It's some people choose Lowe's, some people choose Home Depot, some people choose Tractor Supply. I'm a Lowe's person. I can't help it. If things ever went south, that's probably where I would work. I love Lowe's. I stay there. I should be sponsored by Lowe's. But anyway, what I've started noticing is seeds are disappearing. And what that means to me is, hold on, excuse me, let me put this up here. I want to be eye level, but it don't look like I can be. Let's see. No. Okay, there we go. So what is boiling down to is seeds are disappearing, and not only are they disappearing, they're not being restocked. I don't know if you guys have seen. Excuse me. I don't know if you guys have seen your local big box stores, but they're disappearing, and the issue is they're not coming back. Nobody is restocking the shelves. So what I did was I went ahead and ordered. And I mean, look, guys, you see that price? $169. You can't beat 169. I mean, 169. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can see down. No, you can't. Oh, I'm spilling stuff. Let's see. You see down in there? I mean, we're not gonna try to count it, obviously, but that is enough seeds to plant over and over and over and over and over again. Because I mean, this isn't a. I promise I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but it only takes one seed, to start your own. I'm so excited to know that my father has started growing. He told me that he got his corn growing, he got his watermelons growing, cantaloupe growing. It just feels so good to inspire somebody to have that hobby, But what I wanted to tell you guys tonight, and hopefully I won't be on here too long, but you know how that goes. Go ahead and get you a pot. Go ahead and get you some soil and do the doggone thing. Like I mentioned before, I'm from the South. So what you don't see here is I have multiple green seeds that I have ordered. I ordered 250 of the, what is it? Goodness gracious. Anyway, I'll post it on the link. Don't worry about it. But I have 250 of, what I did was I looked at harvest size, and I pretty much chose the biggest plant for collard greens. And we love collard greens. But what I did too is I went ahead and ordered some carrot seeds. I ordered some radishes. I ordered it. It's called an emergency garden, and I'm not gonna get into like the doomsday prep and stuff like that, but I just don't want to be in a situation with everything that's going on right now in the world to where something happens or inflation hits and all of a sudden a bag of spring mix went from $3.50 to $12. You know what I'm saying? Grow your own. Let's grow our own, you know. And then another thing is, here's the deal. When it all boils down to it, I know a lot of people are going vegan and this, that, and other. Nothing wrong with that. More power to you. But I see no GMO on everything. But when it all boils down to it, how do you really know? How do you really know that nobody has put any genetically modified material into these plants? You know, you don't know. And that is the issue. So it's better to grow your own. Like I said, you guys, I try to keep it as organic as possible. I know some of my methods probably are not, you know, ideal, but I've been looking into some different things, and I'm gonna do a video probably tomorrow on vermicomposting. And what that is composting with worms. And I know you say, well, why would you compost with worms? Well, here's the deal. Like I showed you on my other videos, I have pots. And I top dress my soil with lemon peels. I top dress my soil with apple cores. I top dress my soil with leftover, you know, the part on the tomato that you don't eat, the top part. I slice that up and throw that in there. Everything that we don't eat, I'm kind of telling on my diet here, but we had some spring mix to go bad, which means I wasn't eating very well, but we had some spring mix to go bad. I'll take that stuff and I'll put it right on top of my citrus plants. It can't hurt nothing. And on top of that, what I do is I go and I fish a lot. I fish at least every other week. I go fishing. So what I do is I find myself with an accumulation of worms. And if you can hear in the background, I have an aquarium. So, you know, fish, worms, that sort of thing. But 30 come in a pack. So what I do is I take my worms that I know I feed my fish like 1 or 2 worms a day. So I'll go out there and I'll buy 4 or 5 packs of worms. So to keep them from dying, what I do is I take them and I dump them on my trees. Yeah, I dump them on my trees. So what happens is at night, whenever it's cooler outside, because our nighttime temperatures here is of late, and I'll hold my breath for it, but July it'll probably be 81, 82, 83. But here, as of late, we're into the 70s for nighttime temperatures. So what that gives those worms a chance to do is burrow deep down in that soil, do what they gotta do. And at nighttime, they come up and they feed on all of this organic matter that I have in the soil. And oh, let me mention, what I do is I take that potting soil and I dump it on top of there. So what I'm doing is, excuse me, I'm organically, if you will, having the worms break down this stuff so that it's beneficial for my plants. Everybody, I went to Lowe's the other day and I was looking for worm castings and, you know, things along that line. But when I got to thinking about it, I was like, I don't need worm castings. I got worms, you know, and I don't want this to turn into a project, but worms eat the organic matter and, you know, they poop. And what happens is that soil is enriched. That soil is enriched, you know. So whereas it would take something a month or so to break down into the soil, I'm getting it half the time. Those worms are feasting. I did not do a video, but I will. I will do a video of me introducing some worms into my potted plants and around my oranges in the ground and stuff like that, because that is very beneficial. Because I had somebody to ask me, they were like, well, what are you gonna do when these lemon peels are just sitting in your yard and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. You know, I was like, mind your business. But I mean, no, seriously, I'm just playing. But they're right. They're right, because here's the deal. We only change wood chips, what? Or add wood chips, what, 2-3 times a year maybe? So they had a very valid point. So me personally, I had to think, what can I do to speed up this process? And that is my answer. So I dare you guys to go get you some worms. Walmart used to sell them. My Walmart is out of worms. So I go to my Academy store. I go to Academy, where you know, Academy, the sporting store. And I go grab me some worms. And these worms are like $3.75. And there's 30 in there. So I mean, when you think about it, you're paying a little bit more than 15 cents per worm. But at the end of the day, especially if you're not a fisher. Now, I'm a fisher on top of that. So it's like having your cake and eating it too. You know what I'm saying? But then you got to supply some more cake for somebody's birthday party. Yeah, that's me. That's me, because I'm always fishing. But I dare you guys to go ahead and get you some worms and see how it does. And I added my worms about 2 weeks ago. I added my worms, and I have my Valencia orange is in a 30 some odd gallon pot. So I went to, you know how you say we already established you can't water citrus, and you can't water citrus every day. Some people do. I don't do that, because I don't want root rot. We don't want no issues. But what it boils down to is I went to stir the pot, if you will. You know, go ahead and take that top layer and go ahead and rotate that under. And I got to digging through this soil, and I forgot I put the worms in there. I almost had a heart attack. And I'm not scared of bugs. I'm not scared of, only thing I don't want to have encounters with is you know, wasps and bees and things along that nature. I'm not scared of spiders, none of that. But this guy was about that thick and about that long. And I'm from Texas. Well, I'm not from Texas. I live in Texas. But we have these little baby copperheads that literally on any day of the week you can go outside and be cutting the grass and see them crawling around. So I was like, oh man, I done stuck my hands in there and it's a copperhead buried in it. No, that's my worms. That's my worms. Because what I have done is I have established that healthy soil, and those guys are in there eating. They're eating. And that's great, because the more they eat, guess what? The more worm castings I have. Now, the only thing that I will say is, if I were you guys, I would not put, and I even have a thermometer that I dug around and dug deep. What I found out that in the daytime, and we were starting to break 90 here, but I stuck my thermometer down in there, and what I found out is there's actually a whole nother ecosystem about halfway down the pot. The temperature, 90 degrees now, I think it was 92 degrees that day. Stuck my thermometer deep in there, and we registered at 73 degrees. It's 90 degrees on the surface now, but we're at 73 down in there from that moisture and this, that, and other. And you can only imagine at night, whenever the air temperature is that, 70, 75 degrees, that these guys are, they're living their lives. So I would not recommend doing that if you only have a 2, 3, 4 gallon pot. You know, the bigger pot, the better. I'm not telling you to. I think I bought that pot for. I'm not telling you to go buy one of those big expensive clay pots, $100. No, I think I got that pot for $25. $25, and if I wanted it to be, which I'm gonna have to figure what I want to do with that orange tree. If I wanted it to be, that could be that tree's forever home, if I pruned it correctly, and that would be totally fine with me, you know, because it's plenty of root space in there. But all I want to let you guys know is there are such simple methods for the madness that goes on in your mind when you think, well, what am I going to do when I'm planting? What am I going to do here? What am I going to do there? I just want to drive home for the people who are already aware. Yeah, go ahead and get you some. Now, see, y'all done made me go from talking about an emergency garden to talking. I get excited, you guys. You guys have to forgive me. I get excited and I start talking, and I'm very passionate about what it is that I do, because I'm telling you, it don't matter if you're growing strawberries, it don't matter if you're growing kale, it don't matter if you're growing basil. It really doesn't matter. Whenever you get that harvest, there is nothing else like it. It is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I just wanted to come to you guys tonight and let you know that you can do it. Essentially, you can do it. I mean, I see people say, oh my gosh, it's so hard, you know, I can't grow anything. You taking care of kids, aren't you? Okay, so you're doing something right. So just take that same energy and apply it to the trees. Apply that same energy to, you know, like, come on, you got this. But I'm about to go ahead and get off of here. The only other thing that I will say is you guys stay tuned. I have 2 pear trees that I have not even gotten to. The reason why, honestly, is because my Bartlett pear tried to put on pears, and snip, snip, I went ahead and cut it, you know, because I don't want it to focus all of its energy on 2 pears on its first leaf, and all of a sudden winter comes, spring comes, and no leaves come. It never makes it out of dormancy, you know what I'm saying? Same deal with my Ayers pear. Now my Ayers pear did not flower, and it kind of threw my mojo off, but it's okay. It's okay, and that's totally fine. You know, it's better sometimes to have the tree. Well, it's better all the time to have the tree than the fruit. So yeah, I kind of just shook it off, and I was like, you know, but y'all stay tuned, because I haven't made up in my mind whether or not I want to get another apple tree or a Asian pear variety, or, and I know I'm stretching it with this one, but I really want a cherry tree. However, my zone is only compatible for about 600 to 700 chill hours. And I think I'm being very generous when I say that. But believe it or not, it does get cold. It gets cold here. But I just really want to, I want to continually have fruit. I want to continually have, I should just go ahead and call it edible arrangements, because that's what it feels like. But I just want to, I want to come out of one harvest and go into another one. I mean, I am completely sold out to growing, you know, and it really feels good to go outside in your backyard. You sipping your wine or, you know, puffing on your cigar, and you look out and you see a nectarine tree. You see your peach tree. You see your apple tree. You see your pear tree. It's beautiful. It, it's nothing like it. It is nothing like it. And although I've spent a lot of money, it is very enjoyable. My neighbors walking by, it's a conversation piece. Oh my God, are those apples on your tree? Yeah, they're apples. Yeah, they're apples. So what is that in that pot? Those are oranges. What are these right here on the front? I gotta do a video on my pomegranates. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you guys, it's amazing. It really is amazing, and it is very, very rewarding. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. 1:05 Central Standard Time. So, like I told you guys, I'm kind of fiending. I'm just joking. Fiending for growing, and before it's all said and done, you guys will be too. But I'm fixing to go ahead and get out of here. I shouldn't be up this late, but had a long day at work today, and hopefully nobody will call me tomorrow. But if so, I will be cutting someone's lawn tomorrow. But you guys, I'm fixing to go ahead and get out of here, and I'll get back to you guys. Hopefully tomorrow, we'll go ahead and do everything starting in the garage. I'm over here at the dining room table tonight, and I just really wanted to reach out to you guys, but go get y'all some seeds. Go get y'all some trees. I really need y'all to go and grow. All right, it's Jalen Martinez, AKA the Suburban Grower. And we are out of here. Good night, you guys.